What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. If you've been here before, we're playing some more Magic the Gathering Online, modern to the format. We are going to be trying to learn a deck today. This is a deck I have almost zero experience with. I can count on one finger how many rounds of Magic I've played with this deck. This is Temur Station or Temur Grinding Breach, whatever you like. The deck is based on this combo. We have Grinding Station, which is an artifact that lets you mill 3 cards by sacking an artifact, and whenever an artifact enters, you can untap it, and Underworld Breach, which lets you play things from your graveyard by exiling 3 cards. 3 is a funny number because Grinding Station exiles 3. So with your Mox Opals and Mox Ambers, you're able to generate a mana, sack it to the station, mill 3, then take those 3 that you milled to play it back out and mill your whole library. This means that with the Thassa's Oracle, you can win the game by floating blue every time you do it. I'm not going to go into the entire deck list because this is a deck that we're going to get a Decktech on very shortly. Those are all being recorded very soon, and you're going to get 2 or 3 before this month is over. So you're definitely going to have to wait till then to for me to deep dive this deck, especially considering I'm not very good at it. You're going to see me make a lot of mistakes today, I think, and hopefully we can string some wins together based on the raw power level of the deck. But from what I've seen, this deck is very difficult to play. Outside of that, our sideboard's full of sideboard cards. It's very sweet. Deck's kind of expensive. I hope you guys own Mopals already, Mox Opals that is, because they are hilariously expensive and definitely need to be reprinted since they've been on ban. But that's everything you need to know. So let's hop into a modern Magic the Gathering league. All right, found round 1 opponent and we are on the play because we win the die roll and being on the draw is insane. This opener. I feel like this is probably a keep. We got the Grinding Station, which is, if we have half of our combo, the half we really want to have is Underworld Breach, because Grinding Station can be in the graveyard to start the combo. That said, a turn 1 Emry here doesn't seem very bad. My only hang up with this hand is I don't have a super easy way to go find my my Underworld Breach. This turn 1 Emry has a decent to reasonably good chance to loop this Mishra's Bauble, and I think that might actually be my plan. I can go turn 1 Otawara, Bauble, Opal, Emry, trigger Emry, crack Bauble, try to do that thing. Let's just keep this and see where it goes. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I am currently in the process of learning this deck. I think this is one of the more difficult decks to play in the format, so we're going to be making mistakes together and you guys can watch me learn. And hopefully if you're new to the deck and you want to play it, you watching me make big screw ups will stop you from doing the same thing in your sanctioned games of Magic. Okay, here's an Otawara, here is a Mishra's Bauble, here is a Mox Opal, here is my best friend turn 1 Emry. Trigger the Emry, mill 4. Luckily there are no Underworld Breaches. We do hit a Mox Amber as well. We will now pass the turn, and we will Bauble our opponent at their end step. I don't want to, I'm probably going to wind up cracking the Bauble regardless of whether or not our opponent takes out the Emry, but I just want to see what they're up to. They're going to fetch here. We'll see what they use their turn 1 for. I wouldn't be surprised if they just Fatal Push the Emry here. It's a Burning Inquiry. Yeah, okay. That's fine. We lose the Unholy Heat, but we get a Thoracle. Not a card we're incredibly interested in having, although having it in our hand stops our opponent from being able to do very bad things to us. Okay, let's go ahead and Bauble. Bad things being remove it from my graveyard. That is a Bowmaster. That is good to know. We're going to crank these Baubles as fast as possible. We'll take an untap and a draw and then another draw. Okay, we just found Underworld Breach. Do we win here? We do, right? No, I don't know if we do win. We might have trouble getting enough mana. Let's see here. How much mana can we actually make? We can actually Emry for Mox Amber. That seems not that great. How do we, now I need to think about how to sequence my turn. Yeah, I'm not certain there's a way to make quite enough mana to combo here. One of our lines, we can Emry to get Mox Amber. That'll put us almost to Metalcraft. It'll also give us a mana off of the Mox Amber, but no red mana. So we can tap the Amber plus the Otawara to play Grinding Station. This will turn on Metalcraft. And wait a second, if that turns on Metalcraft and we can use the Opal to, do we just win? We might actually just win without making a land drop. I'm going to go through this sequence. Hopefully my math's not wrong, but I think that I can win. If this is a mistake, you're about to find out what not to do. But we're going to hit the Mox Amber. We're going to play the Mox Amber. We're 2 out of 3 for Metalcraft. Then we go tap, Grinding Station, right? There's my Grinding Station. I will not use its ability. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. I'm just not going to use the ability. Then we go for a red and we play another Mox Opal. Wait, no, we don't play another Mox Opal. We activate Grinding Station, targeting ourselves. Okay, this does work. We sacrifice the Mox Opal. We mill 3. We play Mox Opal, and that triggers the Grinding Station, which will untap. Then we use this to make another red, and we play Underworld Breach, and we win. We just have to execute the combo. If our opponent doesn't concede, I'll teach you how. Okay, so now that we're at this game state, we need to maintain Metalcraft, which we can do pretty easily because we have Station plus Amber. So all we actually have to do from here is we tap the Grinding Station to mill ourselves, sacrificing the Mox Opal. That's going to mill us for 3. Then we cast this Mox Opal. The Thoracle's in our hand, so we can exile any cards. So we'll just start randomly clicking. We'll get the Mox Opal back into play. That'll trigger Grinding Station, which we will untap. Now that we've done this, we will float a blue, and we will repeat this loop. Our opponent concedes. We're going to keep repeating that loop, tapping for blue, sacking it to the Grinding Station, and then playing it back out, milling 3 every time, and continue to exile the 3 cards that we milled. After we've done that, at some point, we will run out of cards in our deck, and we will have somewhere in whatever our deck size is divided by 3 blue mana. Then we will use some amount of those blue manas to play a Thassa's Oracle and kill them on turn 2. Wow. Okay, let's sideboard. Okay, here's what I think we're going to do. This is Hollowed One, I believe. That's the only deck that plays Burning Inquiry and Orcish Bowmaster and the format. We want to bring in 2 Veil of Summer. They're a Thoughtseize deck. I think I do want to protect myself from Thoughtseize, especially on the draw. My deck relies on a critical mass, and a well-timed Thoughtseize into an Underworld Breach can just end my ability to win the game, because once their deck starts doing their thing, it's very oppressive and hard to beat. You didn't see it that game because I won on turn 2, but the card Hollowed One is a card I'm concerned with. Not enough to bring in Nature's Claim, which is in my sideboard, but I want access to Veil of Summer for that reason. I want Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. They're probably going to be bringing in Surgical Extraction. If they take out my Tamiyo, that takes my ability to win easily away. So Jace is just another way to do that. I'm cutting a Besieju. I'm also going to cut some, I'm adding a Besieju rather. I'm cutting some lands to make room for it. This is just to hit like rogue Blood Moons and stuff that they might bring in. I'm sure they do play Blood Moons. It could be that I want Nature's Claim for Blood Moon, but I want to actually see the Blood Moon first. And I'm playing Haywire Mite for the same reason. I'm going to cut 3 Preordains, because Sorcery Speed card draw is historically not good against Bowmaster, a Wooded Foothills for the Besieju, and a Sink, because I think this matchup's going to happen in such a short amount of time. I'll never be able to use the front half, and the back half, I just don't need the 19th or 20th land. Right now, if I'm on the draw and I'm adding a land to my deck for my sideboard. Let's go. All right, this hand blows. We really don't want to see Grinding Station for the most part in the early game at all. And we have a 1-lander where we just like can't cast Emry until turn 3 with our current hand. This is just a mulligan. This hand's interesting. We've got Opal, Spellbomb, Saga, Station. We have the combo in our hand. We're very close to Metalcraft. I think because our opponent's mulliganing to 5 and Burning Inquiry can break up our plan quite a lot, I'm actually going to keep this and ship an extra Mopal. Since I'm on the draw, I'm going to plan to either draw land or a cheap artifact to turn on my current Mopal. And we're going to try to like turbo out. Right now we don't have the pieces, but we've got the Grinding Station, the Underworld Breach, and the Mox Opal, which is like the combo. So from there, we just need to develop mana. And it looks like we've already got most of the way to a, to Metalcraft. They lead off on Leyline of the Void and mulligan to 5. So it looks like they're not going to have a ton of action. And Urza Saga can find Haywire Mite, which can take out the Leyline of the Void. So we're just going to untap and draw. Bauble would be a great draw here. Bauble Amber would also be fine. Veil of Summer is not on the hot list of what would be good draws. We're just going to jam out the Saga, trigger the Saga, and then we're going to play out our artifacts now. That way if we draw like another 1-drop artifact or something, we can still turn on Metalcraft. We'll play Opal, we'll play Spellbomb, tapping this for mana, and we will just pass the turn. Our best draw for like the remainder of the game by a lot is just land number 2. Yeah, our opponent mulliganed for a Leyline of the Void, and they're not doing anything. They could still win if we just draw dead for the next 2 or 3 turns. But this is an example of when I watch Mangu play, he has the same assessment, and I agree with it. When you bring in sideboard cards, there is sometimes the urge, especially for less experienced players, to mulligan aggressively for those sideboard hate cards. Against decks like Breach, not particularly good. Even if I never deal with that Leyline of the Void, if I make my land drops, my Urza Saga becomes very problematic. Saga tokens get bigger than anything they can put into play. So, but we need to hit our land drops is the downside. We take a draw, we hit our land drop, be actually beautiful. We'll play Scalding Tarn. Here, there's a couple routes we could go. We notably are unable to make a Saga token right now, and that's simply because we do not have Metalcraft. So we could choose to use our mana to just get a Grinding Station into play, and that'll turn Mopal on so we can use this Spellbomb. Then when we go to our turn again, we search up a Haywire Mite and take out the Leyline of the Void, meaning that we have to find, I think we find a Breeding Pool. Okay, let's go for that. Fetch, we'll grab a Breeding Pool, we will shock it into play. We're going to tap for 2, and we're just going to jam our Grinding Station into play. It'll turn on Mopal, we'll just let it be. We will not use the ability. Then we will pass. Notably, we also are holding up Veil of Summer currently, which is pretty good for us. And in our opponent's upkeep, in our first main phase, we're likely to just make a Saga token. Maybe not. We might actually just blow up the Leyline of the Void and win. I guess it depends. All right. Fear of missing out happens. When we go to their end step, I'm going to have to like cut me thinking a bunch to see if I can find a line to kill our opponent. Yeah, looking here, here's what happens if we try to go for the combo. We would need to, I guess we have until we draw to find out, because I think if we draw land, we might be able to go for it. Let's say we draw land of any color, it doesn't really matter. We float a mana with the Saga to have one floating and go get Haywire Mite. And then we tap for green and we destroy Leyline of the Void. That leaves us with our floating mana and our Mox Opal, which can be used to play the Breach. I think I just talked myself into winning. Can it be a Surgical Extraction? I think so. Let's just untap. I think I can still win here. That's insane. And we draw a Shifting Woodland, which is great. Let's float a mana and just let this resolve. There is my Haywire Mite. We'll put that into play. And then we will not do anything with this right now. And then we're going to play Shifting Woodland. We're going to activate Haywire Mite to take out the Leyline. I'll gain 2 life, which is neat. And then I still have Metalcraft, so I get to go red, whatever. Here's an Underworld. Oh, I don't actually, Z. Actually, only need the red because I have a mana floating. I almost overtapped. And then I've got Veil of Summer, which doesn't stop Surgical, but anything else they could possibly have. They are tapped out, so I'm not certain it even matters. We'll play Underworld Breach. Our opponent might just concede here, but if they have something, they might make us play it out, or maybe they hope for us to make a mistake. But we're going to activate Grinding Station, targeting ourselves, sacrificing Mox Opal. Now, a Surgical Extraction on the Opal here does stop the combo right now. Then we'll play Mox Opal by exiling 1, 2, 3, done. And then at some point, we're going to have to pop our Spellbomb, because if our Thassa's Oracle hits the bin, we will need an additional card in the graveyard to keep going. So that triggers the Grinding Station, which we will untap. We will float a blue. We will continue. Mill ourselves, sacrificing the Mox Opal. All right, now we will cast the Mox Opal, exiling these 3 cards. And instead of narrating this every time, I'm just going to count how many times I've done it. This is number 2. Here's number 3, blue, hit me, sack here. Here's number 4, cast the Opal, exile 3, 5. And then here, I don't think it super matters, but I'm happy to just, well, no, I can't actually Spellbomb. I will lose Metalcraft. So I'll probably have to cast Veil of Summer or something very shortly, but let's go for 6. We'll add a green on this one. 7. This is 8. Here comes 9. There's the Thassa's Oracle. So now we are going to use a green and just cast Veil of Summer. There we go. Now we're going to cast Mox Opal, exiling everything but Thoracle. And then we will untap and continue until our deck is gone. This is 10. I'll chime back in if our opponent does something to stop us. All right, they conceded, they see it. They either don't have the Surgical, or maybe they know we have a Jace and the Surgical doesn't actually function. I can just make red at some point in Unholy Heat, the fear of missing out, to give me that 4th card I would need to escape a Jace as well. So we're insulated against everything. We just had to physically do the combo, and our opponent didn't want to sit there and watch it. So we're starting with 1-0, a pretty great start. Let's get into round number 2. All right, found round 2 opponent. We're on the play, which is obviously great, so we'll take it. This hand has 5 lands, Bauble, Spellbomb. This is what they call do nothing hand, so we'll mulligan it. This hand has the Breach. We've got functioning mana, and then you probably want to put the Oracle on the bottom, I think. Lead on Tamiyo. Leading on Tamiyo is pretty interesting here. What order do I want to play my lands in? If I want to lead on Tamiyo, I can either bolt in Sink into Stupor, or I can fetch shock for a Steam Vents or Breeding Pool. If I get a Steam Vent so I have access to red, my Shifting Woodland gets weird because it comes into play tapped. So maybe I ship Thoracle and just lead on 17 life, play Tamiyo. I think we're going to try that. Pitch the Oracle. We're going to drop a Sink into Stupor as a Soporific Springs and jam a Tamiyo. Go ahead, opponent. Shock in. We're going to kill the Tam. We're going to kill the Tam. That's no more Tamiyo for me. All right, dead Tamiyo. We untap and draw. Emry. Not great here because I can't play it for a reduced cost, but I can just play Scalding Tarn and pass. Fetch for like Thundering Falls on end step to get a Surveil. Also have Unholy Heat seems fine. We'll pass. Bloodstained Mire. We're going to fetch and play a Johnny. That's usually the right play for Boros / Mardu Energy on turn 2. Just a bombardment. Okay, we're not super stressed about that. Pass to us. Now, we are at another interesting impasse. Do we care about double blue ever? Because another thing we can do is we can just fetch for our Stomping Ground. We unfortunately don't play Commercial District, but we can fetch for Stomping Ground to just jam the Emry, even if we don't have it hit an artifact, and that seems okay. But we're going to lose the Surveil, which does seem a little bit tough. What does our Surveil need to hit us? It needs to hit us like, I don't think we're going to do that math. I think we're just going to like make our mana decent, grab Stomping Ground, not be stoked about it, but we're going to do it. It's going to come in tapped, and then we'll go to our turn. All right, we draw a Bauble, which is unfortunate. I mean, it's not unfortunate. It's just like if we had surveilled the Bauble to the top, this play would look better. Our mana would just be a little bit tighter, but I think it's fine. We can go for a green. We can go for a blue. We'll play the Mishra's Bauble out now so we can hold up red for like Unholy Heat, and then we can play Emry. And if this flips over a station, we're in really good shape. It does in fact flip over 2 grinding stations. We are now going to pass. The last thing we actually need to win the game is a 0 mana artifact, ideally a Mox Opal. We don't currently have a Saga, so we don't have a good way to find it at the moment. We may be on crack Bauble and try to find things mode. There's a Guide of Souls, sure, that's fine. Tap for another Guide of Souls. I would like you to sacrifice your current Guide of Souls, please. Unholy Heat. They're gonna hit the Emry. I wonder if they're gonna sack their other Guide of Souls to hit the Emry too. I mean, that would take Mox Amber off of my list of cards I could draw to win the game in this spot. All right, there goes my Emry, and they're passing. I don't have, if I had 2 artifacts, maybe I'd be considering Metalcraft. Is something I wanna have in play, but I'm just gonna Bauble our opponent here to get the extra draw step. There's an Ocelot Pride on top, and then we untap and draw a couple cards. Good ones, please. There's the Mox Opal. We can't quite win, can we? No, not quite. We need 1 more mana source before we can win. I think we do have 2 baubles, but I think we have a bottleneck on how many cards we can afford to exile. Because if we play Underworld Breach, we would need to play 2 baubles for this Opal to be turned on. So we go like red, green, Underworld Breach. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards in the bin. So in order to get 2 baubles into play and play Opal, we'd have to exile 6 cards from our bin, meaning we couldn't actually escape the grinding station. Wait, we could, right? Because we could crack both of the baubles after making the mana off of the Mox Opal. Well, now I need to think really hard. All right, no, it looks like we can't quite do it, because what happens is we have 9 in our graveyard. We exile 6 to put 2 baubles into play. Then we have 1 left in the graveyard. It's the grinding station. Then we tap the Opal for mana, and we can crack the 2 baubles after that, putting 3 cards total into our graveyard. So once we've done that, we can't actually escape the grinding station because we're 1 card short. So we're actually just going to chill, play this Tamiyo, and pass the turn. Our opponent asks, holy lag. No, buddy, it's not lag. Unfortunately, you're playing against a player who is still very much learning this deck. They fetch, sure. Notably, if they kill the Tamiyo, we totally can just go for it next turn. Also, if they let the Tamiyo live and we can attack with the Tamiyo, we can totally just live next turn. Okay, we win. Now we just get to win. They're gonna Fable. I wonder if they're gonna make us play the whole thing out. One of my the things that's like fighting me the biggest right now is the fact that I need to like think harder than an actual good Breach player about these lines to hopefully find them. And the clock is not as kind to you. We just drew Mox Amber, so now it's free. Now it's like not fair. We'll go to combat. Our opponent doesn't deserve what's happening to them. We tanked about what we would do if everything didn't go perfectly. Instead, we just drew the Mox Amber. So we're just gonna do that now. All right, here's my Mox Amber. It doesn't really matter. I'll just play out my Opal as well. We have Metalcraft now. I can go red plus anything. We'll just go green. Here's Underworld Breach. Okay, now we're here. We're gonna go for a blue, and we'll go for, it doesn't really matter, we'll go for another blue. And then we will cast Grinding Station out of our graveyard by exiling Tamiyo, Scalding Tarn, and Breeding Pool. Here's my Grinding Station. My opponent can choose to make me play it out. I can't even actually get mad at them because timing out is a very real part of playing this deck online. So if we have to play it out, at least you'll get to see the whole thing. So yes, we will use the ability. Now we're gonna go tap, target ourselves, sacrificing Mox Opal, and then we're going to cast the Mox Opal, exiling Bauble on Unholy Heat Emry, and this is time number 1. We will now be using numbers whenever we do it another iteration. This is number 2. All right, they can see we didn't have to. Okay, we got there. We had a very lucky draw. If we didn't draw the Amber, it would have been fine. Still, we attack with the Tamiyo, meaning we get 1 more artifact, and with that 1 artifact, we can still go Underworld Breach and escape 1 Mishra's Bauble to turn on Metalcraft, and now we have enough cards left in our graveyard because we didn't have to escape the second Mishra's Bauble in order to just combo off. So let's sideboard. All right, here's what we're gonna do going into game 2. There's a chance that I wanna bring in my Jace depending on how much graveyard interaction they actually have. I have no clue how much they're going to have. So I'm gonna leave it for now, and we'll find some stuff out game 2. If we lose, we might get the information we need to bring in the Jace if we need it. We're gonna bring in Pyroclasm and Unholy Heat. These are gonna be very good in the matchup, especially on the draw. 2 Nature's Claims. Stony Silence is super popular right now, as is Blood Moon. Besiege You for the same reason, and then Haywire Mite is mostly to hit Blood Moon and the Rogue Static Prison, the Rogue Chain to the Rocks. To bring these cards in, we'll cut 2 Preordain. I just don't want a bunch of Sorcerer Speed card draw in a matchup that's gonna be compressed into a small amount of turns. The Wooded Foothills for the Besiege You, the Sink because I'm on the draw and I'm probably not going to have a chance to convert it. 1 Tamiyo. I don't want to cut too many of my wizards because I still have a Flame of Anor. I still need my Mox Ambers that I'm leaving in my deck because, spoiler alert, you can see here I'm cutting 1. But I'm just going to cut 1 because it's historically not great against Boros Energy's plan. They almost always kill it. So let's bring in these 6 and submit. Okay, this hand's almost really good. If any of our lands made blue, we would just easily go like blue land, Tamiyo, Mox Amber, Preordain, turn 2 Emry, try to go like pop off with Saga after that. But since we can't do anything, I think this hand's just not good enough, so we'll mulligan. This hand has the Breach, which is great. We have a piece of interaction. We have an Urza Saga. This hand seems okay. As far as what we cut, I think it unfortunately has to be the Besiju, but I think we will try this hand. No concrete plan yet. We're just going to interact and try to shape up our combo as the game goes. Marsh Flats into nothing. Great. Amazing. Draw Emry. But we still can't turn one Emry, so we'll just Hedge Maze, take a Surveil. Grinding Station going to the graveyard is a-okay with me, and then we will pass. Obviously, if we get Surgical, we just get Surgical. That's the way it is. We can't like hold all of our Grinding Stations and just like have a bunch of dead cards in our hand against the deck that's going to try to kill us very aggressively. I'm not interested in playing that game. Arena to the bin, sure. There's a Guide of Souls, sure. Guide into Ocelot Pride, the combo. Ghost Vacuum, that's quite good. We're gonna have to deal with that. We'll use our Saga to deal with that. All right, they pass to me. I take a draw. It's Tamiyo. Let's go Urza Saga, trigger the Saga. Obviously a Blood Moon will blow us out, but that's going to be the case for like the entire game. Then we'll play out a Mishra's Bauble. Then we will tap for 2 and play our Emry, Lurker of the Loch. Trigger Emry, flip 4. No Thassa's Oracle, please, and there are none. Unfortunately, our Haywire Mite went to the bin. So now we like need to redraw our Besiju or something. That's not ideal. Although Ghost Vacuum's just going to take out the Haywire Mite, I have to imagine. Let's go ahead and Bauble our opponent. We want our cards now. All right, there's a Blood Moon. Okay, we're probably very dead here. This did not play out well. The Blood Moons plus Ghost Vacuum plus the potential of like all of their exile spells. Yeah, we definitely want to bring in, at the very least, we want to bring in our, what do you call them? Our Nature's Claims. And there's also probably an argument for Jace as well. Luckily on the play, we don't need as much removal. We draw a second Grinding Station. Not the worst, but if they have a land drop here, it's like bad for us. We know their hand is Blood Moon, 4 mystery cards. There's the Mountain. All right, there's the Blood Moon. We're not going to concede just yet because we still like have an Emry in play. All right, you could attack. It won't do anything. Pass to me. Untap, draw. Because we have all types of little mana rocks that make us colored mana. We don't have any right now, but we could get there. Let's go with a Mountain. Currently, we can't make green. Otherwise, we would snap off Emry, Haywire Mite, pop the Blood Moon, be happy with our life, but we're not there at the moment. So I think what we want to do is just activate Emry. They've also got the Ghost Vacuum up, so they're just going to eat whatever I grab in response. Let's cancel that for a moment. Let's actually preemptively grab an Unholy Heat and just take out the Guide of Souls. And we're actually just going to attack. They're going to be able to freely take whatever they want off the Ghost Vacuum. And right now I have no recourse for that. So I'm just going to start attacking for nothing actually, because Ragavan is a potential thing. So we're going to leave the Emry back. What is our out here? Easily it's draw Mox Amber. I think, assuming our opponent has nothing, and this is a tall order, they have to have nothing, we can go next turn, play Grinding Station, and then like try to get Artifact into Opal, and that might open us up a little bit, but we're like, I think we're probably 95% to lose the game here, but we're going to give it a couple turns, because this deck has like a lot of counterplay, an alarming amount of counterplay. There's a Pride, which makes me happy that there's no Guide. There's a Goblin Bombardment, but those two don't do anything crazy together just yet. Looks like they pass to us, we untap and draw. There's a Preordain I can't cast. So let's play Grinding Station. We're actually not going to activate Emry because it blocks the Ocelot Pride. Trigger the station. Doesn't matter what we click. We're not doing anything with it right now. And then we'll just pass the turn. They get my Bauble, which makes plenty of sense. Galvanic Discharge. Start doing Ocelot Pride things. Okay. This we will concede to pretty happily. Now that we know there's a few different ways to build Boros Energy, knowing they have Blood Moon, we're going to change some stuff. Okay, so we're actually going to bring our Wooded Foothills back in because we're also on the play and that's important, as well as our Mox Amber because we need all the mana that we can get. Oh, we did bring in our Nature's Claims. Okay, good. That was when I was like, did I bring that in or did I not? I'm also thinking pretty strongly about this Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, just because they do have access to Ghost Vacuum. They probably have Surgical Extraction. We might need some counterplay to that. I'm going to lose, I think I'm going to keep my Pyroclasm because it's such a good blowout, but we're actually going to lose a couple of a couple of Unholy Heats. Because we're on the play, I think we can be quite a bit more aggressive than them. And I also think that Aether Spellbomb might be a little bit lukewarm against them. Their creatures are also small. So we're going to switch those 3 for these 3 and submit. Okay, we'll take the play, obviously. This opener has turn 1, Fetch, Shock, Steam Vents, Preordain. Try to find land 2, have double Unholy Heat, nothing else going on. What's the best case scenario if I hit my land drop? What do we do from there? Kill 2 things and like play, draw, go? No, we're gonna mulligan this. If we had like 1 more artifact, we might consider keeping it. This has a Mumble, Emry. Yeah, we'll keep this. This has the Pyroclasm, which is really great. With, you know what we should have cut? I'm actually thinking about this now. We probably should have cut down to like 3 Urza Sagas because of the Blood Moons. That likely would have been pretty good, but I think it's okay. We're almost certainly gonna just turn 1 Surveil, turn 2 Rumble, try to set up a Pyroclasm. It could just be that I want to ship the Urza Saga. Opponent begins the game with 7, so that means they either have sideboard cards or they have the fast hand. It's really interesting. Do I ship the Saga or the Wooded Foothills? I think that if I keep Saga, I have to play it on turn 2, meaning our opponent has free reign to just Blood Moon us, and we have no recourse for that. So we are going to keep this, obviously, and then we're going to ship the Saga. We're actually not going to play a Saga game, or we're going to try not to. Then we'll play Wooded Foothills, and we will pass the turn. This deck I won't have, if you're a patron, I won't have a sideboard guide for this deck for at least a week. It's going to take me quite a few reps before I feel confident sitting down, either just myself or with Max or another good Magic player buddy of mine, and work out a sideboard guide for like the current metagame. But right now I do not feel qualified. There's the Pride. Okay, that's fine. We can handle a Pride for now. Looks like they're passing to us. We're gonna fetch. We'll grab. It doesn't really matter. Hedge Maze. Trigger the Hedge Maze. Look at the top card. It's a mountain. Not interested at the moment. Then we'll untap and draw. Flame of Anor. That could be pretty good with Emry. We'll play Wooded Foothills. We will fetch. We're gonna shock. You know what? No. Why did we fetch? Oh, we're gonna Malevolent Rumble. That's why. We're gonna shock in a Steam Vents. Start the game at a low life total. We'll go green, whatever, Malevolent Rumble. We see Besieju, Grinding Station. All of these are takes. I don't think we want a redundant Emry. What's better, a Besieju or a natural land drop? I'm inclined to say with this Flame of Anor in my hand, I want the natural land drop. I'm just going to take a Scalding Tarn. And wonderfully, we put a Grinding Station in the bin. Obviously, at any point, our opponent could have Surgical and that would blow us out, but that is always the case. Obviously, we want our opponent to just play a Johnny here. That's like the ultimate ideal. They're going to dash Ragavan. That's pretty intelligent. I think this has me blocking the Ragavan. I don't want them to make a treasure at all. So we will go 2 blocks. No, thank you. I will take 1. You will start to go wide. Trigger the Pride. You make a dude. That is fine. Then Ragavan goes back to your hand. That's also fine. Then I go 0 mana, Mana Rock. Okay, no, not quite. What are we doing this turn? So obviously we're short a Breach to combo next turn. I think we have to try to set up to get lucky, meaning maybe we're going to try to Surveil. We can try to use this Emry to get a 0 mana artifact in our graveyard, ideally a Opal. And then we can maybe try to pop off a block on the Ragavan with the Emry. They'll probably kill it, but that's fine. Maybe they have to kill it and like hardcast the Ragavan. That would be pretty good. The big question is, do we play Saga this turn? I'm not certain as to whether we do or don't. I think if we're going to play Saga, we kind of have to do it this turn to start setting up. So let's play Bauble. Let's get a Bauble into play to make Emry a 2-drop. And then we will go Urza's Saga, because I think we need to do Emry right now for the sole purpose of getting into our graveyard a 0 mana rock. So we'll go blue, colorless. Here's my Emry. Hopefully this causes them to extend a little bit more too, because if our Pyroclasm can just be good here, we'll be very happy. Okay, that's an Opal and a Mox Amber to the bin. So now we literally are just looking for our Underworld Breach. If our opponent doesn't have hate for it, we do just win. So let's pass the turn and see what they do. If they just like think Blood Moon is going to kill us on its own, guess what? We can win with just red mana. So maybe, hopefully this Urza Saga just gets them to like go for it. Assuming they have it, obviously. A big question in my head, right, is do we crack the Bauble? We'll figure out what our opponent does with their entire turn before making that decision. But cracking the Bauble will take us further away from Metalcraft, which might make comboing hard. Looks like they're attacking with both. I am going to block. What are they going to try to do? I'm blocking. I don't care if you have a Bombardment. If you have a kill spell, fine. I'm not really sure what the goal is here. Goblin Bombardment, sack their cat, take my Emry out as like their only way to remove it. If that was the case, wouldn't you just like try to control it yourself and play Bombardment and kill my Emry straight away? That seems weird. Arid Mesa, sure. Fetch, got it. Another Ocelot Pride, absolutely. Bombardment. Draneth Magistrate. Okay, Ocelot, I see why they attack. They make another token. This is fine. I think I do want to Bauble our opponent. We're going to need some help. Bloodstained Mire on top, sure. All right, trigger your Pride. You do your thing. I'm going to untap, draw, trigger my Saga. Probably going to use this Flame of Anor to deal with the Draneth Magistrate. I actually can't have that in play. Does easily stop me from comboing. So we draw a card off Bauble, draw for turn, Saga goes up to 2. We draw another Emry, not the worst thing ever. Also, Soul Guide Lantern isn't the worst thing ever either. We'll play land. I think we want to use our Emry now. Could be that we want to just get like Grinding Station into play. I think Amber's a little bit better. Having mana is good. Let's grab our Amber, put that into play. Oh, we can't. All right, we can cast it till end of turn, but Drannith Magistrate won't let us. So now we have to go colorless, red, blue. We're gonna go Flame of Anor. We're gonna go I draw 2, 5 damage to Drannith Magistrate. Boop, boop. I was like, why isn't it letting me cast it? Now I can cast my Amber. Drawing a Nature's Claim, not the worst here. Here I can actually Pyroclasm if I wanted to. I'm not certain that that's like a good play. I don't think I care about a Ragavan randomly hitting me anymore. So let's go ahead and tap this for whatever and play a Soul Guide Lantern. We'll trigger the Lantern and take out Drannith Magistrate. I don't care very much about this Ocelot Pride at the moment. Then we're just gonna pass. We could play another Emry. I'm not entirely sure that that's like needed. There's the Blood Moon. We're gonna fetch. I think there's still a Breeding Pool in our deck. There's a Stomping Ground too. I think we'll get the, you know what, let's get the Stomping Ground. I think red might be a bottleneck for us at some point. We will shock it into play. Then we're going to tap for green and let the Blood Moon resolve. Sorry, Urza Saga, you tried. And then when they try to go to combat, we're going to Nature's Claim that Blood Moon. No thank you. All right, you can attack me for 3 and make a dude. Assuming they don't, I mean, even if they do have surgical, I think drawing Underworld Breach might still be a win. There's a non-zero chance I'm supposed to cycle the Soul Guide Lantern right now. Although I guess it costs a mana to do that, so we can't do it right this second. All right, they attack me for 3. I go to 10. They're gonna go to 25 and end step, trigger the Ocelot Pride, make a 1/1 and pass, I assume. Ooh, they have a land drop. We're gonna play Ragavan? Nope, we're just gonna trigger the Pride. We have to remember there's a Ragavan in their hand. They pass to us. All right, just another Scalding Tarn. We'll play it. We're playing something out of the graveyard right now. I think we need to draw our payoff. Do we still have a Bauble? We do. Let's tap Emry. Let's cast Bauble out of our graveyard. 1 Bauble. We won't crack it just yet. Now we're actually just going to tap for a blue and a red. We'll cast Pyroclasm. We'll lose this Emry, but they lose their whole board. Then we can tap for a, doesn't really matter. I guess we'll leave this, it matters a little bit, right? I guess we tap the red source because we can fetch for our basic mountain if we need it, which no, it's not in our deck anymore. So we do have to make a decision here. It's not a super deep one, but I do think it can come out to matter. We will Bauble actually ourselves. That'll inform whether we fetch or not. That's a Tamiyo. I don't think we want that very badly. So we can actually get rid of it without fetching. We can just go blue and drop Emry. Okay, no breaches. Damn, 1 breach. That's tough. Then we can, I think we just pass. And I think there's still a Thundering Falls in our deck, so that's what we're going to fetch for, assuming our opponent doesn't make us do anything. But we don't have much to do other than like, we could draw our Unholy Heat, I guess. I'm going to set a stop on their upkeep just in case they surveil a Flage into the graveyard. All right, just a Guide of Souls, that's fine. All right, Bauble triggers, I draw a card. There's the Breeding Pool. Not great. If they dash Ragavan, I'm actually happy with just blocking with Emry. I need to buy as much time as possible. My only job now is to draw Underworld Breach. Emry doesn't help me do that outside of looping the Mishra's Bauble, and I don't think my opponent's going to give me time to just like do that forever. Are they going to Flage here? Or are they going to dash Rag? They're going to cast Bombardment. That's fine. So they have Mystery card plus Ragavan. All right, there's the dash Rag. All right, you may attack. Is there a chance I take 1 hit? That's actually a big question, right? Let's fetch first. Let's set at the top of my deck. Thundering Falls is the last fetchable. Perfect, actually perfect. All right, show me. It's an Underworld Breach. Yep. That can stay right there. I would like to block. They've got 1 in hand. I don't know what it could be. Also, I don't care. We're just going for it. All right, Ragavan return. Sure. We're going to untap. We're going to draw. Then we're going to tap for 2 and play Underworld Breach. Now we are going to tap for two, and we are going to cast Grinding Station, exiling 3 lands. Grinding Station enters and triggers, and I will come back in if they stop me from doing anything. We're going to execute the combo I've already shown you. Important note, I do have to start with Opal because Amber can't make mana. All right, there is a Jace. So we can actually just cast that right now. I think we should. Exiling 3 whatevers. And then we will continue with our Opal. All right, we're down to 4 cards. We're running low on time, but it looks like we had enough time to do all of our things. So we're gonna do that. We got a Thassa's Oracle. We can actually just cast the Oracle here. So we'll just do that. Keep it really simple. 1, 2, 3. Do we have another Opal? We do. There we go. Thassa's Oracle enters, trigger, and no, we'll leave that where it's at. That's fine. We win. Yahoo. All right, 2-0, beat Boros Energy. Playing this deck in paper we have some paper gameplay of this deck coming out in a hot minute, like this week, I think. But playing this in paper is so much easier because you can actually take a shortcut. If you explain it well enough, you have to be able to execute the combo if your opponent asks you to, because I don't know if it's deterministic, but it's very close to it. So in paper, it's very easy to just also you can manually execute the combo faster than I can click anyway. So it's kind of stressful to play online so far, but 2-0, let's go into round 3. All right, round 3, we are on the draw, unfortunately, and this hand, unfortunately, kind of blows. This is a triple opal hand, so it's already a mulligan to 5. Tamiyo, Shifting Woodland, and Saga are not a good enough reason to keep on this 7, so we're going to mulligan. Let's see here. This is a turn 1 Tamiyo. We've got the Mox Amber and some interaction with the Underworld Breach. This is definitely a keep. We ship the Soul Guide Lantern. We're almost for sure just going turn 1 Tamiyo into Amber. The Amber unfortunately won't make red for the Unholy Heat. I just want to get it out of my play. Also, this is Belcher, so we have to get busy. I want to play all my spells. All right, there's a Flame of Anor, which actually can come out to be pretty good in this matchup depending on what route our opponent has to take. Let's sacrifice. We do want a red source, I think. Let's just grab Steam Vents. Tap for a blue. Here is my Tamiyo. And here is my Mox Amber. Go ahead, opponent. Soporific. Go to 17. Tap 2. Thunder Trap. Nope. Philology. Please whiff off your Philology. It's actually not possible. I just want them to take something bad. Like a Jawari Disruption. They actually almost did miss, which is hilarious. Okay, 6 cards. One of them's Jawari. Ion tap and draw. It's another Amber. Not incredibly helpful. We'll play Urza's Saga, trigger the Saga, and then we will go to combat and attack. Hoya, we'll make a clue. Now the big question here becomes, how do I want to use my cards? Do I want to Flame of Anor to flip my Tamiyo now? Do I want a Flame of Anor to just kill a creature that could be used to use Flare of Denial and then draw 2 cards and maintain my Tamiyo being flipped on its front side so I can keep grinding clues, because I don't have a ton of time in this matchup is the thing. That said, this deck is going to have trouble taking my Tamiyo out, so Mox Amber is just about as good as Mox Opal for comboing, and all I actually need is my my grinding station. Now they have infinite free permission, so I have to be really careful about how I do the things I want to do. I'm going to pass. I'm actually not going to do anything right this second. All right, they play a tapped land. And then pass, I hope. I know they have the Jawari Disruption, actually. So I definitely should have done it on my turn. I forgot about that piece of information that I have for free. Maybe I just activate... Nope, Saga can't make constructs yet. Maybe I just crack Clue. I think that's what we'll do. We'll go crack our Clue. Just draw a little card. It's an Otawara, which in this matchup, not that bad. Then we will untap and draw. All right, Saga triggers. Now I can make the dudes with it. Yeah, really should have converted that Flame of Anor. Although if they had Flare of Denial, it's 6 to 1, half a dozen the other. But we know they have Jawari, so... a little bit tough there. Let's go to combat, attack with the Tamiyo. Hiya, trigger Tamiyo, make clue. I really want to avoid playing this Otawara as a land. It can actually be incredible. Just as a spell, channel it. So we're actually going to tap for blue and cast Preordain here. Emry plus Wooded Foothills. We actually want both of these cards awkwardly. What do we want worse? Probably Emry? Now I need to think more. Man, this deck makes you think so much. I'm used to just casting a frog and everything being okay. All right, here's my thinking. I think I need to try to... I might need this Flame of Anor in the following turn because my opponent's going to have face-up information that I can't... I don't have counter spells. I can't just counter the Charbelcher, so they might think it's safe to just put it into play. That's going to make it really enticing for me to Flame of Anor. Although if they do that, I can always just Otawara it. But that means I'm not playing it as my land, and I really want the Wooded Foothills as my land. I think I have to just put Emry on the bottom and Wooded Foothills on the top. It doesn't really matter how I did it, but once I fetch, I can't draw the Emry. And I'm definitely fetching. Whether it's to cast Flame of Anor or to make a construct, I'm not sure, but I think I have to fetch. So we're just going to pass the turn. We're holding up Otawara, Urza Saga token, and Flame of Anor right now. So I feel safe-ish. I say ish because they seriously play so much free interaction. All right, they're going for the Goblin Charbelcher. We have to let it resolve. And then let's see if I can get them to use a counterspell now. I'm going to fetch. I'm going to shock in a Breeding Pool. Ouch. I'm going to cast Flame of Anor. 2, draw 2 cards and destroy Goblin Charbelcher. I'll draw 2, I'll destroy here. I'll tap like this. If they have the free counter magic, I can just Otawara the Charbelcher. So I'm not super sweating just yet. There's the Disrupting Shoal. They only have 3 in hand now. Okay, there goes my Flame. On tap. And we know one of their mystery cards happens to be a Jawari Disruption. Okay, do I have the flexibility to make a construct? I do not. Yeah, I don't. Well, no, maybe I do. I can actually go get Mox Opal, bounce the Charbelcher now. It taps me out, but it gives me a giant construct. That said, I think I have to combo them because they're just going to play the Charbelcher out next turn anyway. So what's my best route? What do I need to do here? Because it might be that I need to go get Mishra's Bauble and go deeper into my deck as well. Alternatively, I could try to breach to blow up the Belcher. Either way, I think making a construct just doesn't do anything for me. So we're going to search and we have to figure out, do we want to get mana or do we want to go deeper into our deck? With mana, all we can do is bounce the Goblin Charbelcher with Otawara and take a naked draw again next turn. We can still crack a clue, which is nice. Can we crack a clue without getting a Mox Opal? I've got one floating, so I can use that and the Mopal to crack clue. Then I can use my land to channel Otawara. So yes, so I can get a Mopal plus, not Mopal, I can get a Mishra's Bauble plus do everything I want to do, right? Yeah, we got to get going deep. Let's grab a Bauble. We've got one floating. Then we're going to play Scalding Tarn. We'll fetch. It doesn't actually matter what we get, so we'll get a mountain. Then we are going to crack the clue. All right, just another Underworld Breach. That doesn't do us a whole lot of good. We'll go to combat. We'll attack for 0, make a clue. Go to our second main phase. I can't do anything weird with my clue to win with a grinding station here, can I? I could like bobble myself if it's a grinding station. I can tap Amber and Breeding Pool to draw it. Then I can play No, I've already played a land this turn, so that doesn't work. Nope, that doesn't work. So what we're going to do is we'll bobble our opponent. It is a Whir of Invention. Good to know. Then we will Otawara Goblin Charbelcher. No, thank you. Then we've got 5 card types. I don't think we need to play the Amber. We're just going to pass. We just need to find a station. Losing out on that Emry was tough. Although Emry is not guaranteed to hit us a station or anything, it just gives us a better chance. Are they just going to do nothing? Are they going to hold up Whir to go get a Lotus? That could be good. Holding up Jwari Disruption. There's a Malevolent Rumble. Okay, let's play Wooded Foothills. I guess we shouldn't have done that yet, but that's fine. We'll go green, red, and we will play Malevolent Rumble. All right, no grinding station. We find a Bauble. Do we have any possible outs? I do not think so. We'll take the Mishra's Bauble. We will, yeah, I don't think we have an out. Let's crack this clue. Another Malevolent Rumble. We attack, no, we don't have an out. All they have to do is use that Whir of Invention they drew to go get a Lotus Bloom, and then they can tap out for 4 + 3 is play it and crack it, the Charbelcher, and that kills us. How do we sideboard versus Belcher? We definitely want Pithing Needle. Okay, anyone who plays this deck and knows how to sideboard this matchup, get at me in the comments, please, immediately. I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing. Here's what I'm going with. I'm bringing in Pithing Needle for obvious reasons, you name Belcher, 2 Spell Pierce to fight their counter magic, Consign to Memory just to fight their like random artifacts, like the Lotus Bloom plus the Belcher, Veil of Summer to protect my combo, Besiege You and Haywire Mite just to also to deal with their win conditions. We're cutting removal, which is bad. Spellbomb, I think, is medium. Sink into Stupor and Wooded Foothills because we're bringing in a land. 2 Preordains and a Mishra's Bauble. This is what I think I'm supposed to do, but I actually have no clue. Submit deck. Okay, we will be on the play. This hand has a Consign. We can open on Preordain. We've got some fight in us. 1/2 of the combo. I think we keep this. As long as we hit our land drops, we can go Rumble and try to just do the combo that way and protect ourselves with Spell Pierce. We'll try it. Okay, here's a Scalding Tarn. Fetch Shock. We want to get, I think having green early is more important right now, so we'll get Breeding Pool, and we'll zap it into play, and we'll cast our Preordain. All right, we see our second land drop, which is a Shifting Woodland. We do not need this Preordain. We are just going to Rumble, so we'll draw the Shifting Woodland, and we will pass. Lotus Bloom entered the Exile Zone. They play Jwari Runes and pass, sure. Me go. Draw Emry, great. Play Shifting Woodland. Let's cast Malevolent Rumble. Is this okay, opponent? They don't interact with it. There is some interesting stuff we could do here. I don't want to take the Saga. Harbinger of the Seas is a serious consideration in this matchup. I almost don't want to take the Breach. I almost want to leave the Breach in the graveyard because I have a Shifting Woodland, and that wins through counter magic in a lot of ways. I think I'm on taking the Scalding Tarn, just like make my land drops. What happens if I take Breach? Do I win if I take Breach and 1 Spell Pierce stops my opponent from stopping me? That's what I need to figure out here. This is another one of those Breach player skills that I don't have yet. Knowing when your percentages are favored to just go for it. Because something I can do here is take the Underworld Breach, and I will get a little 1 mana dude as well. And then I can, you know what? No, I solved it for myself. I don't have red mana. We take the Scalding Tarn. I was thinking about like, how do we win from here? But I don't think we do. I think we just take Scalding Tarn and we just pass the turn back. That'll give us our red mana. We have Shifting Woodland to copy our Underworld Breach, meaning if our graveyard size is at a critical mass, counter magic doesn't matter. They Bolton Seagate Reborn, sure. Untap, draw. There's a Mishra's Bauble. Let's go Scalding Tarn. Let's play Mishra's Bauble. Do I want to just jam Emry here? Or do I want to jam Grinding Station and then Emry? Because that's also interesting. I think I might want to do that. The big question is, do we sack the Eldrazi spawn to cast the Emry? Is there any reason to do that? Or do we sacrifice the Eldrazi spawn to cast the Grinding Station rather? Yeah, right, because we can Spell Pierce a counterspell and resolve everything. Yeah, we're going to do that. We'll go green, colorless. I just want to have my colored mana here, I think. We'll go Grinding Station. This is the combo in play right now. We will not use the ability. Then we can just tap for blue. And actually, let's fetch first. I don't want to... One of the ways we can lose from here, there's ways we can lose from our opponent's side, but one of the ways we kill ourselves is we play Emry and we lose... How many blue fetchables do we have in our deck right now? We've got Steam Vents and we've got... And that's it. We've got Steam Vents. So if we mill our Steam Vents right now, we're up Shit's Creek without a paddle. We're going to have to fetch. We'll grab our Steamy Boy. We'll shock it into play. I'm actually going to hold up green to feint having Veil of Summer. And we'll play Emry. Day Disrupting Shoal. Spell Pierce doesn't function on this, so I think I'm just going to let it go. That's fine. Emry being in the graveyard is great for us here. Losing our Scion isn't the greatest. I should have thought about that because now we can't Shifting Woodland unless we hit the land drop. But I think we might bobble our opponent in their upkeep anyway. All right, Lotus Bloom does the thing. I'm going to bobble you. All right, you have a Spell Snare. Good to know. I don't plan on casting any 2-drops. All right, they're just passing. That's kind of great. We'll untap and draw. And then draw again. All right, we find the land and the Underworld Breach, which we are not interested in casting. What we need to do is figure out what the over-under is on just going for it now. Because we can activate our Shifting Woodland, make it into an Underworld Breach, play Opal from the graveyard, play Bauble from the graveyard, and just win the game. The downside is if our opponent has like the bounce spell into the Flood Maul, that kills us as well. I wonder if we're supposed to take a second and just like pass and try to convert a Flame of Anor first and try to do it with Spell Pierce up. Right now we can't do it with Spell Pierce up, but maybe doing it with Spell Pierce up is what we want to be doing. That way they can't like really nail us to the wall. I'm thinking I want to consign the Lotus Bloom. So we'll go blue. I don't actually want to kick it. If they want to interact, that's fine. We're just going to go, do we want to consign it? Alternatively, we could just blow it up and draw 2 cards in their upkeep. That's cool. No, we'll go for the consign first. No replicate. Because if they want to protect it and then they cast Tameshi, we can like Flame of Anor both of them. Okay, continue. Tormod's Crypt. Man, that's gross. Well, we have the Underworld Breach. Okay, Tormod's Crypt is fine. Yeah, I will not be activating the Grinding Station to hit them. Maybe I should hit them with Grinding Station. Nah, we're good. I think that Crypt must have been their draw for turn. That was quite good. You know, I'm wondering if like a more experienced Breach player would go, they're pretty unlikely to have exactly into the Flood Maul. I just go for it here because I would have won if I just went for it. But I would have had, there would have been a point where they could have bounced it because I needed to get Mox Opal and Mishra's Bauble into play to have Metalcraft. Let's go ahead and I actually didn't need to have, yeah, I needed to have Metalcraft to start floating mana. Let's go ahead and tap for green, blue, red. I just want to draw 2 cards. Now they're going to pop the Tormod's Crypt, which is kind of, this is the point where we wanted them to do that. We'll untap and draw. It's a Tamiyo. We could besiege you their Seagate Reborn here. They don't have a land to go get. They might have a mountain in their deck post board, but not a super big deal. Let's play Tamiyo. Here is my Tamiyo. Okay, let's tap Shifting Woodland. I'm just going to besiege you your Seagate Reborn. Do you have a mountain? No? Good. That's amazing. Then we will, do we cast the Emry? I think can we wait? I think we can just wait to cast Emry. We'll keep holding up Spell Pierce. We just strip our opponent who missed a land drop, which seems fine. Now, did they exile any potent thing? Nope, there is no Thassa's Oracle in there. Wait, is there? Okay. So here, nothing to do at end step, so we'll just untap and draw, make Emry into a 1-drop by attacking. There's a second Emry. Go to combat, swing in there. Hiya, make a clue. Do I want to tap Grinding Station to mill our opponent? They've already got a Lotus Bloom in the bin. Why not? Or do I mill myself? I'm not going to mill anyone. I just want to keep the clue. Every time that trigger goes in the stack, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. But I don't think it's ever correct to. All right, let's go to my second main phase. Let's tap for a blue. Cast Emry, Lurker of the Loch. All right, trigger Emry, Lurker of the Loch. That is a Mox Amber. We technically can kill our opponent from here. What is the over-under on giving it a try? I think I'm supposed to. Let's go red, green, cast Underworld Breach, they Spell Snare, I Spell Pierce, and then if they have something else for it, I'll just make Shifting Woodland into an Underworld Breach. I think so, yeah. Underworld Breach, Spell Snare, here's a Pierce. Do you have a Shoal? Underworld Breach? There it is. Okay, let's play Mox Amber by exiling 3 whatevers from our graveyard. Mox Amber comes into play. We won't do anything with that. We're going to start executing the combo with the Amber the same way you've seen us do it. So we'll fast forward through this. If our opponent interacts, we'll come back. We did find an Opal, so we're going to start doing it with that. We're actually going to take a small second to have a break from this. We're just going to get Emry into play now. A second Emry just to mill through our deck a little bit faster. All right, Emry, I'll keep. It doesn't matter which one I keep. I just want to quickly mill 4 more cards into the bin to expedite the process. There's the Thassa's Oracle. We'll see if they have interaction now. But let's keep going. Something else that doing that does, it gives us Spell Pierce as a thing to flashback, which I believe we have enough things to exile to do it in case our opponent does have interaction. 1, 2, 3, done. There it is. All right, now our opponent's tanking. The next time, so we're on like iteration 7. There's 9 cards left in our deck as we're going through this combo. I actually can't, is this game 1 or this is game, I don't know whether I'm round 1 or 2 or game 1 or 2, not game 1 or 2, game 2 or 3. But we can also, we're going to make a grain on this next one. Also, of course, we're lagging. That's unfortunate. Lagging is bad. We might time out because I don't know if this is game 2 or 3. We'll trigger that. We will untap. We will make a green this time. We will grinding station targeting ourselves. We will sacrifice Mox Opal. All right, we will now one more time cast Mox Opal from our bin. Exiling 1, 2, 3, done. Trigger, untap's fine. We will now hit ourselves at the grinding station. Doesn't even matter. We'll just sack the Mox Opal. All right, now we'll cast Thassa's Oracle. 1, 2, 3. Done. Trigger. All right, we begin sideboarding. We have 3 minutes and 25 seconds to complete the combo in game 2. So I think we're just dead. We'll fight, I guess, but it's really just like a turn 2 kill, and our opponent will probably just time us out. All right, this doesn't come close to winning fast enough, so we'll take a... Maybe it does. No, it doesn't. Mulligan. This hand also blows. We can't do anything with it. Mulligan. And this hand, I guess we're forced to keep. We'll ship, I don't know, Tamiyo plus Scalding Tarn. I'm imagining we're going to get a non-zero number. Well, I mean, we're getting 1 here. I'm almost certain that we're going to time out here. But because even if I get to the combo, like I have to execute it still. We'll play Mox Opal. But once I don't have to think as much about what lines to take and I can just kind of take them, it should get a little bit easier. Here is my Emry. Disrupting Shoal is fine. And then we will pass. Bloom, sure, pass to me. Untap, draw. Breeding Pool is a tapped land. Pass to you. Bloom triggers, yeah, that's fine. I think I'm supposed to crack this Bauble at their end step. Thunderclap, Thundertrap Trainer's fine. They take Flare of Denial. Yeah, we can't win anymore. So I mean, we could still win the game if we had some more time. But through the Flare of Denial, they're gonna kill our clock too much. The only way we can win is if our opponent is like understands that we are going to win, and they go, okay, in paper I would have lost this game, I'll just concede. But on MTGO, there's no reason to do that. You're playing on chess timers for a reason. If your opponent times out, they time out. So we're 2-1 going into round 4 here. But in paper, there's a good chance we could have won that game 3. So also, if I was just quicker at this deck, we could have won that game 3 as well. This hand blows. Double Tamiyo, triple Tamiyo, no blue sources. We'll mulligan. This hand has Tamiyo and Underworld Breach. Not bad. We've also got a Mishra's Bauble to start doing things. I mean, with this hand, we could flip Tamiyo in turn 2, which I think we're supposed to try to do. We just ship Thassa's Oracle. We're shipping the Thoracle. I need to get better at knowing when to F6 to conserve my clock a little bit. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go shock this in. Ouch. Here is my Tim Tam. It's on you, opponent. You got a subtlety, or like, are you playing Belch? Or do you have a shoal? Nothing. Okay, now we're gonna play Bauble, and we'll pass. I'm not gonna Bauble here. We'll just Bauble on our opponent's end step. Lotus Bloom. Looks like we're playing this matchup again. All right, I'm gonna try to be considerably quicker about my decision making. Hopefully I don't make too many bad ones by playing quicker than I have any business playing. They Bolton Hydroelectric Laboratory. Sure. Go to end step. I'm gonna Bauble you. You have a Jawari Disruption on top. That's very good to know. On tap, draw 2 cards. 1, 2. We found a Mopal. Let's go to combat. That'll make us a clue. Go to our second main phase. We're going to shock in Stomping Ground. And then we could crack the clue here, or we could go like Spellbomb Opal, crack the clue. That's interesting. I think I'm kind of okay just cracking the clue here, to be honest. If they have like a bounce spell, whatever, like I think that's okay. Let's just crack. Tamiyo wants to flip. Tamiyo flips. Great. Let's plus it. We'll go ahead and just jam a Mopal here and then pass to you. Lotus Bloom goes to 2 time counters. Tap land. Sure, pass to me. That's amazing. All right, I untap and draw. It's a Flame of Anor. That's equally amazing. We'll plus the Tamiyo. We'll play the Shifting Woodland, which comes in untapped, which is nice. Then we will tap it to play Aether Spellbomb. And then what do we know about? We know about Jawari Disruption. Non-zero chance we're just supposed to cast a Flame of Anor here to try to draw 2. I think I will. Oh, I can't. I don't actually quite have Metalcraft yet. Blunder. Adrian, you blundered, you fool. We will pass the turn. I'm so used to Tamiyo making clues that I did not make a clue because she is flipped. I don't think we lose here though, so we'll see what happens. Tapped land. That's pretty great. Okay, pass to me. I will untap and draw. There's another land. That's pretty great. Let's play it. Let's tick this Tamiyo up again. We're just going to try to emblem or ultimate this Tamiyo. For now, I can actually pay for a Jawari Disruption, so we're just going to pass. And when they put the Lotus Bloom into play, I think I'm supposed to crack it in their upkeep, so they can't just like go land drop Belcher kill me. That sounds bad. I don't want to die. So I will go green, red, blue, Flame of Anor. Now, if they have a, if they have a Tameshi, I can just bounce it with Aether Spellbomb. So we'll cast it, destroy target artifact. Did I tap wrong? I did. We need blue. There we go. Destroy target artifact. Please go away. The Disrupting Shoal. That's tough. Yeah, that happens. So if they just have Belcher plus on-tap land here, we are dead. Now, if it's a Tameshi kill, we are not quite dead. It's Philology, sure, that's fine. This doesn't kill me. Flare of Denial, Sink into Stupor, Bean Veal. Bean Veal? How do you pronounce that word? Doesn't matter. I think they probably take Flare of Denial and probably bounce my Tamiyo, right? Which means they have to crack the Lotus Bloom, which is okay with me. Meaning we're just fetching for a Hedge Maze to try to find Grinding Station. If they take Flare of Denial, we're just going to draw so many cards they can't have enough counter spells to stop us from doing our game plan, right? They choose Flare of Denial. So they have Flare of Denial, Jawari Disruption, 2 mystery cards. They tap for 3. They don't tap for 3. There's the Charbelcher. So they have mystery card, Sink into Stupor, Jawari Disruption. So all we care about is not Sink into Stupor, Flare of Denial. All we care about are the mystery card and Flare of Denial. But we're going to we need some stuff to go right, obviously, but we're going to do everything we can to just win here. Let's grab Thundering Falls tapped. That is a Breeding Pool. Honestly, no, I'll just play a Saga that I draw. I'll put that into the graveyard. We will take a draw step. I'm also probably going to bounce that Philology Archaeologist so they can't just Flare of Denial me. Let's -7 the Tamiyo. All right, there's the combo. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by just tapping a blue and using Aether Spellbomb to bounce Philology Archaeologist so they can't use their free permission. Now all we care about is the mystery card, but I almost don't know if it matters what it is. Did we draw a Mox Amber? We did. Let's play Mox Amber. All right, I'm now going to execute the combo. I will come back. I'm going to do it quick, so if they stop us, we'll be right back. I do not love the lag. It seems like every time I have a billion cards in hand, it lags out. All right, Grinding Station combo's online. Let's go for it. Ooh, I just realized I'm actually going to, for this video, move myself up to here for now, so you can see my entire board. All right, let's go tap. Target me, sacrifice Opal. Go play Opal, exiling 1, 2, 3. Oh, they conceded. Yay. Okay, I'm going to come back down here because I think this is clunky. But I'll move myself if my board ever gets that big, which I think it will some of the time. Our opponent conceding there is pretty great for us. It means we don't have to stress too much about time. I think I'm going to sideboard the same way I did last round. Okay, yeah, we're doing more or less the same thing we did last time we played this deck, which was last round. We're just going to bring in Spell Pierce to interact, Consign to Memory to interact with a couple things. Pithing Needle in the name Charbelcher, Haywire Mite to interact with their Charbelchers and their blooms in their upkeep. It will specifically bloom in the upkeep, Belcher whenever, as long as they don't have the mana to activate it. Besiege you similarly for the same reason. Veil of Summer to protect me from their interaction, and we're sideboarding out Heats, some Preordain, Sink into Stupor, a Saga, because they are a Blue Moon, a Harbinger of the Seas deck, and a Bauble just as a trim. Again, if anyone knows how to play this deck very well and knows how to sideboard, talk to me, help me get better at this deck. I'm pretty sure one thing I know is even though I have the combo in my hand, I can't cast anything because I have no mana sources, so we're going to mulligan. This hand has Opal, Pithing Needle, and 3 lands. I think this hand blows. We're gonna go to 5. Yeah, we don't like that very much. This hand has, we've got a Malevolent Rumble. All of our lands forever come into play tapped. I think we've got to keep Opal, Bauble, Pierce. Maybe we can't keep Pierce. I think maybe we have to keep Opal, Bauble. Maybe we can ship the Shifting. No, that's our only green source. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to keep this Spell Pierce plus the Grinding Station, and we have a Hope and a Prayer. If we concede this game super early, it's because we don't think we have a very good chance to win, and we want as much time as possible for game 3. Drawing Veil of Summer is not super bad here. We'll put this into play tapped. Trigger it. What do we see? Underworld Breach. Well, we need that, so we'll put it on top. Then we'll play nothing else. We will pass. Our opponent did not play a Lotus Bloom. Of course, they could always whir for it and win very aggressively. But so far, they've done nothing. We're going to draw our Breach, put our Shifting Woodland into play tapped, and hold tight for one more turn. Then we're gonna start doing stuff on our following turn. Probably like Rumble into Opal, Bauble, try to hit another 0-drop holding up Veil of Summer. Rumble putting a Grinding Station into the graveyard would be ideal. They bolt that in. That tells me Whir of Invention. Could also just be like Hardcast Flare, Hardcast Sync, but that's fine. We'll untap. Land, please. Thassa's Oracle. Probably the worst draw in my deck. Let's go Mox Opal. I'm going to cast that first. See if they have anything for it. Then we'll play Mishra's Bauble. Just cast that. Then I think, do we go for it or do you just hold up Veil? No, we can't just hold up Veil for the whole game. We got to go for it. Malevolent Rumble. Do you have it? I mean, your whole deck is it, so we'll see. All right, they just snare. Okay. We pass the turn. Tap for 2, 3 for a Teferi. That's gross. What does that mean? Nothing? It doesn't mean a whole lot. It means we can't interact with them. But I don't think that Teferi is going to do anything too messed up to us right this second. If they have free permission, we definitely just lose on the spot. But we're going to take a draw here. See what we get. Emry, Lurker of the Loch. The worst. Tap for a blue, play Emry. Probably should have opened on Veil of Summer. All right, trigger the Emry, mill 4. Do we hit a... Nope. We hit another Underworld Breach, but we don't see any grinding stations, unfortunately. I think we just pass here. Teferi goes down on Emry. Sure, you draw a card. Me getting to recast Emry seems like okay. I mean, we could just lose here. Although, no, I don't think we can just lose here. What's their best line? What could they possibly do? Bolt that in. War of Invention for Lotus, crack Lotus, play Tameshi, then use Tameshi to generate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, they could have won there if they had it. Right, but they're just passing to us. They've got 4 in hand. I'll take a draw step. It's a Mox Amber. That does turn on my my Mox Opal, which is interesting. I think I just have to go for it here. The game going longer does not favor me whatsoever. Also, do I just play Veil of Summer? I think I do. Tap for a green, cast Veil. Got anything for this, buddy? They don't. Okay, here we go. We'll go for a blue and we will cast Emry. Emry's gonna mill 4. Please have a grinding station. No grinding station. Big sad. Is there any value breach stuff that we can do? Not really. Nope, definitely not. We have to pass. What we would have done there if we hit grinding station is tapped Opal, tap Amber, play grinding station with Veil of Summer protection, proceed to execute the combo and see if they have like sink into Stupor for something on the stack. War of Invention. Yep, that's pretty good. There's the Lotus Bloom. All they have to do is have a Tameshi or a Belcher here. Or another War of Invention, I think does it, right? Yeah, easily, as long as they have a land drop. All right, they tick up Teferi. That is a Char Belcher. We can go to game 3. I'm glad that one ended quickly. We've got 16 minutes to play game 3. Do I want to change anything post-board for game 3? I don't know. I think there's like an argument to bringing in my Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. I could like cut, since I'm on the play, I probably don't need my Haywire Mite nearly as badly. But ultimately, no, I just don't know enough. I think I'm just going to keep it like this for now and try it. Okay, we will take the play. This hand has a turn 1 Emry, which I think in most cases is something we want to be doing. We've also got Pith. I think we keep this. It's not the fastest hand ever, but I think it is okay. Opponent mulligans to 6, which we love to see. Go to 5. That way you have some real card disadvantage for all your free spells. Belcher sometimes has trouble mulliganing just because they need to like, they usually 2 for 1 themselves 1 to 2 times per game, sometimes 3. And if you start with lower hand size, you don't have critical mass to win the game sometimes. Okay, they only go to 6. That's not, I mean, it's great, but I wanted it to be better. Let's go with a Steam Vents Shocked. Let's go with a Mox Opal. Let's go with a Mox Amber. Let's go with a, I wonder if we're supposed to play Pithing Needle here before the Emry. It's more likely they have a 3-drop for Shoal than a 1-drop, right? Play the Pithing Needle first. I'll have, it doesn't really matter, right? No, I just don't think it matters that much. I think we're going to play for the maximum upside. We're just going to jam our Emry. Let's see if you just have Shoal plus 3-drop. They have Shoal plus 3-drop. It's a Harbinger, which is like, honestly, actually not that good against us right now, but they just went down to 4 in hand, so we still need some stuff to go right, but we've got a great setup here. We've also got a Surveil with the Hedge Maze, which isn't the worst. Tapped land pass to me. Lotus Bloom, so you've only got 3 left. Okay. Let's go Hedge Maze, get a Surveil going. That is an Underworld Breach. I think we need that. So we'll put it right back where we found it. Then we're going to play Mishra's Bauble. Then we're going to cast Pithing Needle. Now the question is, what do we name here? I think the honest answer is just Goblin Charbelcher. I don't think we want to get fancy and try to name like Tameshi. And I think it doesn't hit mana abilities, right? Let me check. Yeah, it doesn't hit mana abilities, so we can't hit Lotus Bloom. So Goblin Charbelcher. Okay, there's the Charbelcher. And then now that we have Metalcraft either way, I think we're comfortable just Mishra's Bobbling our opponent to get our, you know, our good spell into our hand, our Breach, and then take another blank draw, because we still need to find a grinding station. Okay, you get the Lotus Bloom, I get the Breach. Well, they don't get the Lotus Bloom yet, but they get to, you know, it gets closer. Put a Bean Veal tapped as a land, meaning we still know about nothing. Yeah, I think we have no information on their hand. Okay, we go. We draw Wooded Foothills. This can get us a Surveil land, which isn't horrible. We gotta find things, but I think we have some time. Pass to you. I don't think it's this turn, right? It's next turn that it comes into play. Yeah. We've got one more turn. They just exiled another one. They play Hydroelectric Lab. Tapped. Great. We are going to get a Thundering Falls and try to just kill you. We're going to see if we can just find it. Thundering Falls. Tapped. I would like this to be a grinding station. Hello, grinding station. It's good to see you. Do we just put this in the bin and try to combo from there? I mean, yes, right? That into the graveyard. And then we will take a blind draw. All right, there's an Emry. That's pretty cool. Let's just get the Underworld Breach into play now. So we'll go red and whatever, and we will cast Breach. Okay, that happened. Let's go ahead and cast the Grinding Station. We'll tap for 2, interestingly, we can't Spell Pierce after playing this Grinding Station, which I think is problematic. I think we're supposed to actually open on Emry. So let's do that. Emry, all right, Emry triggers, 4 to the bin. That gives us, did we get another mana rock? Unfortunately, no. So it looks like once we do this, if they have the out, we're just like, not dead, but severe, we're in an awful spot. I mean, we just have to go for it though, right? Yeah, I'm not seeing any other pathway to take. So we're gonna play the Grinding Station, tap for green and whatever. And notably, we do have Emry, so we want to be careful about what else is in our graveyard. So we'll take out the Scalding Tarn, the Wooded Foothills, and the redundant Emry or the redundant Bauble. Let's do the redundant Bauble. All right, do you have something for this? No. Okay, it's in play. Great. We're going to go for it now. I'll come back to you if they try to stop us. We're going to do the combo we've been executing the whole time. Our opponent is tanking. Things they could have here. Right now, the bounce spell would be good. Hercules Recall. That I think messes us up. I can't respond to it because I don't have any mana. So it resolves. All my artifacts are back in my hand. Then I mill 3. There's an Opal in there already. So we can play the Opal. So we just play the Amber. Now they've got 1 card in hand, so they can't respond to us, right? Yeah, exactly. They cannot. So, well, no, they could. They could have Pact and then get their Lotus Bloom, but we're not playing around that. So we get Mox Amber, meaning we have access to 1 mana. And now we get back in Opal, exiling Emry. There's a station in our hand, but we won't get rid of it. We'll get rid of Emry, Tamiyo, land. For the Opal, does this give us... Wait, this doesn't give us Metalcraft. That's interesting. What can we do to make sure... How many cards are in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we escape Opal and Mishra's Bauble, we can just... Yeah, we're good. We just keep going. Okay, we'll get rid of... Cancel that. We're going to cast Opal. We're going to get rid of Emry, Tamiyo, Scalding Tarn. There's my Opal. We are now going to cast Mishra's Bauble. Wait, did I bring in the Jace? We'll just view our sideboard here. Is there still a Jace in it? There is. So this is actually super duper interesting because we need that Thassa's Oracle to kill. So there's a reason to bring in Jace, although that's just kind of unlucky on my part, right? So what options are available to us here? Do we need to just stop? I think we need to just stop. They've only got 1 in hand. We can generate mana. We can just play the Pithing Needle here and then wait to find another breach. We've still got Bauble in the graveyard. I think we have to stop here because if I play Grinding Station, I lose the Thoracle. I lose the ability to win, at least in a way that makes sense. So we're just going to cast Pithing Needle. We're going to name the card Goblin Charbelcher. After that, we are out of actions. We can still make 1 mana, but that doesn't help us at all. So we're just going to pass and hold up the Spell Pierce. Not that it's going to be super helpful with their Lotus Blooms, but it is what it is. Okay, I've got 8 minutes. This is so stressful. Hercules Recall was mint there. That was good on you, opponent. Nice job. You may have a Lotus Bloom. Unable to scream? Come on, be nice to my guy. I needed that for stuff. All right, we're gonna start F6ing like crazy here. We just need to find the combo again. There's an Urza Saga. That's not bad. We'll put that into play and then we'll pass. We're not gonna F6 on our turn because they could have Whir. Although, why would they Whir for another Lotus Bloom? That would be stupid. Next turn, they get a second Lotus Bloom. They're passing to us. All right, we take an untap. Saga triggers. That's another land, so that's not great, but that's, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. We'll shock and Breeding Pool. We're actually just going to play this Grinding Station because we would like our constructs to be ginormous. Our Grinding Station enters, does blah, 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 and we will pass the turn. Our opponent now has access to infinite mana. Not literally, but pretty darn close. But they've got a few barricades to get through. They have to get rid of our Pithing Needle because they can't Charbelcher kill us with a Pithing Needle in play. Use Grinding Station's ability. How about no? We have 3 in hand. I don't know that any are common information. Another Hercules Recall would be devastating. Soporific Springs, paying the life. Passing? I wonder what they want to do. Not that it super matters. I'm going to make a construct regardless. It's going to be a 5/5 into a 7/7. No, it's a 6/6 into an 8/8. All right, I will go on tap, draw a Tamiyo, trigger the Saga. Let's make another one. We'll tap Amber plus whatever. Let's do a green one. No, let's do this one. All right, I'll make it into a 7/7, then we'll fetch for something and it'll be an 8/8. Okay, what do we want to get off of the Saga? Could just be Haywire Mite, although I don't think taking one of those Lotus Blooms out is going to be incredibly potent. Mana Rock doesn't do anything. Is it just Mishra's Bauble? Nah, I'm just going to get an attacker. Let's grab Haywire Mite. There we go. I will not use the ability. All right, go to combat. I'm going to attack for 8. Hiya. And then I'm going to play Tamiyo. Let's see if they can just kill us. Definitely a non-zero chance of that. All right, pass to you, opponent. If it becomes relevant, I'll move. There's just a Grinding Station right under me. Don't worry about that. A really hot top deck here would have actually been Shifting Woodland, which is still in my deck, because that just makes a copy of Underworld Breach, then I go for the combo. A Hurkyl's Recall here would suck. All right, tap for 3, 4, okay, 5, 6, 7. All right, they're gonna whir for 4. What if I crack my Mite targeting their Lotus Bloom? I think I'm gonna do that. They'll crack it for mana in response, but then I'll just, no, we definitely do that. We're gonna crack this targeting the Lotus Bloom, paying a green. Here's why. They're gonna crack it, make mana, and that's gonna nullify your spell pierce. So we will just the Whir of Invention resolve. If they go to get a Lotus Bloom, then if they have like a way to deal with this Pithing Needle plus a Belcher, we can spell pierce one of them. They sink into Stupor the Pithing Needle. So now we can go blue and spell pierce, sink into Stupor. And then Haywire Mite dies, I gain 2, who cares? They're gonna Whir of Invention. They can go grab a Belcher if they want, but if for them to kill us, they would have to find a way to deal with the needle immediately. That costs less than 2. There's like a non-zero chance. What I was supposed to do is like spell pierce the Whir of Invention and let the Pithing Needle go. I could see that. I could see a case for that as well. I'm really not sure which is better. Let's see if I did that and then I lost the Pithing Needle and they had no mana. Yeah, that was maybe the better play because then they'd have like exactly Hurkyl's Recall as a top deck to just not lose on the spot. They got a Portable Hole. Sure. What does that hit? Construct? Okay, that's fine. So it buys them a turn. Okay. So yeah, there's a really good use case for just hitting the Whir instead. Okay, do your thing, opponent. Mind you, if I draw a single artifact, they're still dead. Because when Tamiyo attacks, Tamiyo makes a clue. Untap and draw. It's a Grinding Station, which is not legendary, so let's cast it. Grinding Station. Okay, trigger. I will not mill anybody. Okay, I'm going to go to... oh, you know what? I lied. It only makes it attack for 8, so this isn't quite lethal, but whatever. We're going to combat. We're attacking. There. I guess it's 8. We miscounted. We would have needed to draw, like, really nothing would have done it, I don't think. Okay, take 8. Go to 1. Okay, opponent. I have nothing else for you. I will just pass. Hydroelectric Specimen flashes in. As a blocker? Sure. To Fury, that's tough. Now we have to play really fast because we need to find a way to kill our opponent. All right, you bounce the construct, sure. Belcher's good at making us time out, guys. It's awful. Tapped land, sure. Okay, end step, I'm gonna crack this clue. I just want to draw a card. Rumble. We have a chance to win here, though we're gonna have to execute it quick. That's a Besiege. Let's cast Rumble. There's an Underworld Breach. Do we get that? Or is there a way we can attack them for 1 here? Yeah, we don't need to go for the combo, right? We take Aether Spellbomb here. We bounce the Hydroelectric Specimen and Besiege. Do we have enough mana? Yeah, bounce the Hydroelectric Specimen, costs 2. We can use our rocks for that. Then we can Besiege the Unable to Scream and attack for 1. Yeah, we'll take Spellbomb. Because our time's low enough, we might actually not be able to combo. Let's go for whatever color. Play Spellbomb. Okay. No. Okay. No. We will crack the Spellbomb to return Hydroelectric Specimen to hand. We will pay using a blue. Then we will Besiege you to beat up on Unable to Scream using a blue. And wait, we don't need we can just use 1 green. All green. This is the weirdest way to win I could imagine this deck having. Okay, you get to go search up a land. You don't have any, so this just happens. Then I attack you in the face with Emry. All right, go to combat. Make a clue. Okay, I will not use the ability. I will not use the ability. Okay, opponent, why aren't you conceding? Just take the 1. Are you still hoping I time out? Because I don't. Okay, cool. We win. That was a really unorthodox way to win, but I think like normally in a real like paper game, I'd be happy to just combo knowing that they had no way out. But there, the timer was our biggest enemy. We're 3-1. If it weren't for the timer, there's a good chance we'd be 4-0. Let's play round 5. All right, found opponent number 5. We are on the draw, which is tough, but that's okay. Maybe we just find the turn 2 kill and they're playing like energy and can't stop us. This hand doesn't kill on turn 2, but I think it's a keep. Multiple Sagas, Mishra's Bauble, turn 1 Tamiyo, turn 2 Emry. Start Saga-ing. Yeah, this is basically an affinity hand. I think I'll try this. Like no combo pieces, but whatever. Sacred Foundry? It's energy. Okay, we have a chance. Pass to me. Although the turn 1 Tamiyo is significantly less good. Also drawing a second Emry, not the greatest, but we'll fetch. We'll get a Steam Vent. Shock it into play. We will tap it for a blue and play Tim Tam. No need to play a Bauble here. We'll just pass. Next turn, we can go Saga, Spellbomb, Bauble, Emry, if they deal with the Tamiyo. Or if they don't deal with the Tamiyo, it doesn't really matter. I'm just doing it. They attack. We'll go to blocks. I'm just going to block it. If you want to bank in energy with your Galvanic Discharge, I don't really care. Land, tap for 2 for an Ajani, sure. So they just got the go fast hand, so we just need to find the combo ASAP. Okie dokie, you make a kitty cat. My turn. We draw part of the combo. Would you look at that? Urza Saga, trigger, please don't Blood Moon me for the love of God. Let's play Mishra's Bauble. Let's play Aether Spellbomb. Let's tap for a blue and play Emry and hopefully flip over Grinding Station. There's a Grinding Station in there. Wow. I think Blood Moon's the only thing that like actually kills us here, huh? We'll go to combat. We'll just make another game piece, another permanent, and then that's it, opponent. You may go. What do we need here? Nothing. We also flipped an Opal. That was better than we could have ever hoped for. Hopefully they just like flay us and try to kill us to death. They dash Ragavan. Great. Phenomenal. They go to combat. They attack with everything. The only thing I care about is not letting them make more mana. So we're gonna go to blocks and we'll just block the Ragavan. Well, hold on. How worried am I about them hitting Thassa's Oracle? Well, blocking Ragavan stops that anyway. We're just gonna block the Ragavan. Okay, do your thing. I was thinking like, can I block Pride? If I block Pride and that Ragavan through, it's the worst that can happen. Oh, they hit Thassa's Oracle and we can't win. That would be bad. Okay, I'm at 12. Do you have a land drop? They do. Still think you're just dead. Trigger, my turn. Me go. All right, on tap and draw. Amber, literally the best possible. I don't even need to go to combat. We'll play Saga, trigger the Saga. Then we'll play, Mox Amber, trigger the Mox Amber, trigger nothing. It just comes into play and is able to make mana. Then we'll go red and colorless. Underworld Breach. Hello. Our opponent plays a fast deck, so I'm expecting them to just concede here. They could make me do it, but they're able to win their game so quickly that like, yeah, they concede. Great, perfect. Good job, Boros. Okay, we did it. That was the turn 3 kill. Now we have to sideboard against Boros being on the play again. Okie dokie, here's what we are doing. I'm going to cut 3 Preordains. I don't want the sorcery speed card draw on the draw against the very aggressive deck, so I'll cut 3 of them. I'll cut 1 Tamiyo. Again, it's not that great against Boros. I'll cut the Sink into Stupor and the Saga. I'm fine going down 1 MDFC on the draw, and I'm bringing in a land, obviously. I'll talk about that in a minute. And then we're cutting the Mishra's Bauble just as a trim. It does help with critical mass for artifacts, but I think cutting 1's okay, especially since we're bringing in a Haywire Mite to beat up on Blood Moon potentially. Also like random exile effects that they might have. Nature's Claim, Stony Silence is this card they might sideboard along with Rest in Peace maybe, and those beat me up pretty bad, so I need a way to deal with them. Same with Besiege You. Pyroclasm and Unholy Heat are just a defensive measure being on the draw against an incredibly aggressive deck, and Jace because that deck does play Thraben Charm in addition to Surgical Extraction, so they can hit the Thoracle if they time it right. But if they do that, if they jump the gun too soon and they have Jace, I can win anyway. Submit. Okie dokie, we've got turn 1 Tamiyo, turn 2 Emry, we've got the Underworld Breach, we've got an Amber to juggle with it. All we need to do is find Grinding Station. We keep. We have no defensive maneuvers, but like this is a generally aggressive hand, so I think we're just supposed to try it. Screw sideboard cards, we're just going to try to win. Of course, if our opponent opens on Ghost Vacuum, all that goes down the drain, but we'll have time to try to find a way to beat it. Mesa fetch, what do we got? Ragavan, Ocelot Pride, the dreaded Guide of Souls. It's an Ocelot Pride, great. Pass to me. Malevolent Rumble, not a bad draw. We'll shock in Steam Vents. We'll tap it for blue. We'll just jam Tamiyo. We could play Amber. I don't feel the need to. We're just going to pass. They're going to combat. I'm once again going to block this Ocelot Pride. No thanks, dude. Are you going to play a Johnny again? Because you did that last game and it was not a winning strategy. They fetch. Stony, that would be a winning strategy. I would need to take some time to actually deal with that. All right, there's the Stony. We have sideboarded to plan around Stony, thankfully. We'll untap and draw. It's an Urza Saga. I think it's time to get a Saga into play, potentially. Of course, they could have Blood Moon, but we need to start moving towards a way to deal with that Stony Silence. So we have to hope they don't have Blood Moon. So we'll go Urza Saga, trigger it, and then we'll play Mox Amber. We can't use it yet, obviously. But what we can do is play Emry for 1, which might wind up mattering. Do we go to combat or do we want to block? No, we go to combat. We're going to make more game objects. Attack, make a clue, and then go to main phase 2, tap for a blue, and drop the Emry. Emry triggers, we flip 4. The Haywire Mite just went to the graveyard, but the Haywire Mite can't take out the Stony Silence anyway, so we're looking for Besiege You or one of our Nature's Claims anyway, so that's okay. So we'll just pass the turn. Mountain, please don't Blood Moon me. Please don't Blood Moon me. It's an Ajani, that's fine. Ajani triggers and makes another little kitty. Now, if you attack, I will just block with Emry. This means they might have another Oh, they flip Ajani. Duh. Do we want to let them flip a Johnny? Is that worse than Ocelot Pride making a token? Substantially. We'll just take 2 here. Now we gotta find Besiege You, stat, or just like naturally draw into a Nature's Claim would be ideal. Terror. Our Urza Saga. That's tough. Okay, that triggers you make a cat. I've got a couple turns of maneuverability, but it's not great. There's another Underworld Breach. Let's shock in Breeding Pool. We're gonna cast Rumble. Green and another color. Rumble. No luck on the front of finding a Besiege You, and we're not taking a second Tamiyo, so it's definitely just like random fetch land. Take random fetch land, and then we go to combat. Do we make another game object or do we just defend ourselves with Tamiyo? I think we just defend ourselves with Tamiyo now. This might be the extent of what our opponent's hand does. I think the second we draw Nature's Claim, the game gets out of hand for us. We of course do need to find Grinding Station, but we once our artifacts are usable again, if we're able to do that this game, that's going to be like really, really good. However, I think we still can't allow a flip on the Ajani. We'll go to blockers. Everything's a cat. So that just is the way it is, I guess. We'll go Emry on a Johnny, because they'll just bounce off each other. Then Tamiyo on Ocelot Pride, I guess, and we'll take 4. I'll go to 10. They have another land. It's an Elegant Parlor, sure. They definitely have the City's Blessing now, so they're going to start making many kitty cats. We may have like 2 more draw steps maximum to dig out of this. My turn. It's a 3rd Underworld Breach. Not even close to what we need. Let's play Urza's Saga. Trigger the Saga. Do we need to value breach for Malevolent Rumble here? We've got 3 breaches, so value breaching is just something we can do. I think so. We'll go colorless, red, Underworld Breach. We will cast Malevolent Rumble, tapping for green and sacking our Eldrazi spawn. And we'll exile, let's say, Scalding Tarn, Mountain, Urza's Saga. We do not see the good things. We don't see, I mean, luckily there's no Nature's Claims because we couldn't take those anyway, but there's no Besiege You. We will take Thundering Falls. We have an Eldrazi spawn again. The only thing we can still cast out of our bin would be this Haywire Mite, which we might just do anyway. We'll sacrifice the Eldrazi spawn just to put something with power in play. We'll get rid of Malevolent Rumble, Unholy Heat, and Tamiyo. And then we will not attack. We'll just pass. Breach goes away. Next turn, if I'm able to draw exactly Besiege You or, well, does Besiege You work? Yeah, absolutely it works. If we're able to draw Besiege You or Nature's Claim, we can take out the Stony Silence, jam Underworld Breach. You know, we still won't have access to to the card we really want access to right now, which would be Grinding Station. But Pyroclasm's also a pretty good out to this situation. Like, it at least slows them down substantially. If we don't do that, what other line do we have access to? I suppose we could go land, Malevolent Rumble, well, Underworld Breach, Malevolent Rumble, right? That'll give us 1 colorless mana to work with. And then, yeah, that doesn't do it. We won't be able to get rid of the Stony Silence. So yeah, we need to literally draw Besiege You or the Nature's Claim right now, or we can just concede and go to the next game. Of course, our opponent's tanking, no clue why. They're in a great position. While my opponent's tanking, I need to think about what I do if I hit my best case scenario to save time, so I'm not thinking about it when I draw it. Let's say the best thing possible happens and I draw one of my 2. Oh, they're going to dash Ragavan. Okay. If I draw Nature's Claim and I take out the Stony Silence, where do I go from there? Becomes the big question. I'll have access to 4 mana? Not really sure. Looks like they're going to flip a Johnny. That'll deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus 8, 9, 10. Yeah, this is lethal. Okay, we don't have to think about it. We're good. Concede. Go to game 3. That's what our opponent was taking on. They were doing math. On the play, I'm actually going to trim an Unholy Heat, and I think I want to bring back in one of my Synchronous Stupors. I just want to make sure I have enough mana sources. Outside of that, I didn't really sideboard out any of my combos, so I'm just going to try to be more aggressive than them this time. I could also bring in Spell Pierce. Let's think about Spell Pierce for a minute. No, I think that's just too hopeful. We're going to rely on our known cards that can deal with the Stony Silence. Notably, Synchronous Stupor also deals with it as well. That might be a reason to not side it out in this matchup. Something to think about. I won the die roll. No, I lost the last game, dude. All right, I'll be on the play. We've got a Besiege You, which handles our biggest problem. This hand doesn't do anything outside of that. We have a Saga, we've got a Pyroclasm. So we can handle their hate very, very well. In addition to that, we've got 1 Surveil. We have to find so much for this to function. Is this one of those, like, is this a trap? Because our hand's good against their general game plan for sure. But outside of that, it doesn't seem to do very much for us. Our Saga can go get the mana rock, so then we just need Breach plus Grinding Station. I think our critical mass is too low. As appealing as this does look to me, I have to mulligan it. All right, this hand has a turn to Emry, a piece of interaction, and an easy ship to the bottom we'll keep. By Thoracle. We just need to find our Underworld Breach. Let's play Thundering Falls. Underworld Breach, please. Sink into Stupor. I don't think, well, it's not actually the worst. We can use it. That hates on the hate. Maybe we actually just want that. What are the odds that this thing just gets stuck in my hand? Seems high-ish. I'm on the play. I'm going to be aggressive and put this into the bin. I'm not sure if that's right or not. Pass to you, opponent. Marsh Flats, fetch. Please don't. What do I care the most about? Don't Ragavan me, because I don't want to have to block it. I guess, could I heat it? It's an Ocelot Prey. They keep leading on the one I'm the most fine with, which is great. Okay, let's go Wooded Foothills. Let's fetch now. I think I can't afford to get a mountain. I need a green source. So we'll just go ahead and shock in the breeding pool. Then we'll play Mox Opal and we will jam the Emry. Emry, find me some goodies. All right, 1 Underworld Breach is not what I wanted. The Jace already being in there isn't the worst though. We'll pass. Nothing to cast though. No, discharge. Are they going to combat? They ship in with the Ocelot Pride. Hopefully they don't have a Guide of Souls. That would be tough. All right, ouch, I'm at 16. Don't have a follow-up, don't have a follow-up, don't have a follow-up. Yay. Okay, I untap and draw. Scalding Tarn, not bad. We'll probably be needing to use that to Surveil. What's the over-under on getting Grinding Station into play right now? Or do I just want a Flame of Anor? Do I want to Unholy Heat that Ocelot Pride right now, or do I just want to let it like get out of hand? That's like a huge question right now for me. You know, I think I can see a world where I just like cast Flame of Anor on end step. I think that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna pass. The other line is to like, we can play Grinding Station. That could be cool. We're gonna see what they do, because if they go to combat and just attack, I'm going to set a stop in their second main phase to see what they do. Because there's also a world where I think from here, I'm either going to Surveil plus Unholy Heat or just hardcast Flame of Anor. All right, they've been a Guide of Souls. They're looking for a land drop because Guide of Souls is good here. All right, they go to combat. I'm just going to take the 2 here. They gain 1 and go to 18. They play a land. They fetch. Don't Blood Moon me. It's a Fable. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I think we're just drawing 2 cards now that they're tapped out. So we're going to let you go to end step. And then that triggers. That's fine. I'm going to fetch now. I care a little bit about my life total at the moment, so we'll grab a mountain. Then I'm going to Flame of Anor, cast it. Target player draws 2 cards. Target player is me. Tap for these manas. All right, Rumble, good. Malevolent Rumble, good. Second station, very bad. All right, you make a kitty cat. I untap and draw. Scalding Tarn. What does this give me access to? Do we have any free artifacts in the graveyard? We do not. We need this Rumble to be insane for this to go well for us. Let's go for it. Let's go green, red, Rumble. This Rumble was decidedly not insane. I think we have to just take a Tamiyo here. Putting an Opal into the graveyard is like fine. Soul Guide Lantern. I guess we could take Soul Guide Lantern and like cycle it to just see if we draw the combo. What's the over under on that? I've got 1 Underworld Breach in the graveyard. If I pass the turn, our opponent's going to do a huge loot, attack us for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If they have a Johnny and a bombardment, we are just dead. If I take Tamiyo, it sits there for a turn, dies. Maybe we just do that. Maybe we get crazy and try to just like win. Although we can't, right? Because we'll get the little 1 drop, but then we have to tap a mana to draw the card as well. No, we just take Tamiyo. We take Tamiyo and pray that we get nice and lucky. Here's the Tamiyo. There is a pull here to, you know, I'm just going to hold up this Unholy Heat. I was thinking there's like somewhat of a pull for me to just jam the station now so I don't get bottlenecked on mana, but looking at my mana situation, I don't think that can happen. They discharge my Tamiyo. I don't love it, but it happens. They're going to dash a Ragavan. We have to Unholy Heat that, I think. Maybe we don't Unholy Heat that. Maybe we just block Ragavan with Eldrazi spawn and then Surveil. Do we have a Surveil? Do we go through our Hedge Maze yet? Doesn't look like it. You make a treasure. Yeah, I think that's what we need to do. We're just going to go to blocks, block the Ragavan. Okay, I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, drop to 8. They've only got 2 in hand, so we've got a chance here. All right, they go to end step. I'm going to fetch. Please don't have Wear Terror opponent. That would be lame. Fetch, grab Hedge Maze, show me Breach. That is an Emry. That does not help us get Breach, so we have to put it down. Pride triggers. We go to our turn. Please Breach. Cross fingies. Cross fingies in chat. In the comments, this is very much not live. All right, that's an Urza Saga. Do we have any way to prolong the game by a single additional turn? We can kill their biggest thing, which is a 2/2. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. Yes, I mean, I guess so. We'll play Urza Saga. We will tap for 2. We will play Grinding Station, trigger the Grinding Station. And then is there any downside to just playing the second Grinding Station? Not particularly. I mean, I guess they could have like some way to blow up a shitload of artifacts, but even if they have that, we have to draw Breach. And if we draw Breach, we can still do the thing. So we're just going to drop the second Grinding Station as well. Okay. Everything kills us here. Bombardment. I think a Johnny plus removal spell for their own creature. Yeah, everything kills us. But if they somehow miss and I'm able to heat their lethal Goblin Shaman and then untap and draw Breach, we can still win. This deck can win out of nowhere from like most positions. And I think that's why it's good. I have a feeling we're going to lose this game, which puts me at a 3-2. But if I, with like no reps or understanding of the deck, can 3-2 with it into a league, imagine what a seasoned player could do. Oh, right, they have Ragavan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I Unholy Heat the Ragavan and die. GG. We're going to call that. Okay, this deck is sweet. I cannot wait to play more leagues. You're probably going to get at least 1 more league in the next week or 2 of me playing this deck, just like trying to learn it. Me learning it in public and trying to, failing and succeeding all in front of the eyes of you wonderful viewers should at least be semi-interesting. Takeaway, probably play this deck. It's not budget friendly, so if you don't have the cards in paper, tough. Mox Opal is like $170 or something, and hopefully they get around to reprinting it at some point, but they haven't in a hot minute, so we'll see what happens. But if you're already invested in Magic, you've been playing since Mox Opal was printed, like I have, and you just had them laying around, check this deck out. Probably go watch like a specialist of the deck play it if you want to learn it, though. It's going to take me a couple weeks before I can like confidently say these are the lines. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.